Well, welcome again to your daily dose of awesome. My name is Chef Katrina. I'm the Director of Client Experience here for Elite Marketing Pro, and this is your 15 minutes of inspiration, education, and motivation. So what I want to talk with you guys about today is the power of education in building your network marketing business. Like many of you, I got started in network marketing and I was really excited about getting into my network marketing business and getting started and building all of this. So I had a hard time though, because when I first got started in network marketing, I was a chef in the kitchen. I had a lot of people underneath me. I had a lot of people that I worked with, but it was inappropriate or unacceptable to be recruiting people into a business while they were working for you. So I kind of was up against a rock and a hard place. I couldn't really prospect the people that I worked with, being in the company that I was with. And my mom had done a great job of already kind of talking to and recruiting my family. So I was like, okay, what can I do? What's another method and another way to start building my network marketing business? And so I had to turn to the internet. I was like, the internet's definitely going to be a much more resourceful place for me to go. Maybe there's some training out there. Maybe somebody's kind of figured this out before me. So it was really like looking to find what I could to become resourceful. So I started using, guys, this is how back in the day I was. I actually started using Yahoo Groups. Was one of the things that I was using. I was using that as my communications board, so getting involved in Yahoo Groups. So if you guys have been around for like the last decade, that does make sense. This was kind of all pre Facebook and using this system as a marketing tool. So it's just been an interesting evolution of how to use social media and what this... Aha! Welcome, guys. We're back again, live. Yes, it's really choppy. I seem to be having internet problems right now in my house. So I do apologize for the choppiness. I do apologize already for acknowledging, really, that I've already dropped this video once. So if you guys are still on here with me, I appreciate that. If I do get choppy, please let me know. This is like my third attempt in getting a Facebook Live up and running. So am I still coming in clear? I'm going to ask the question real quick. Can you guys see me, hear me effectively? Do you guys, yes? Just kind of want like some, so I get some thumbs up. You guys are hearing me. You guys are seeing me. I'm back in process. Choppy. So still choppy. Oh my goodness. Whew, I'm going to be like blinded out here. You guys see my big rubber ducky back over there. So you guys can hear me. We're coming back online. Are we good? Okay, we're good. Okay. Holy moly. So this is a good educational experience for everybody. So just when you think everything's going to work, nothing works all of a sudden. So I've dropped this whole conversation once already. I'm going to be standing here outlined on my tablet because apparently I have no internet access in my house. I have no Wi-Fi service in my house. I tried working on my mobile. Now I'm on my tablet. So how does education like this help you guys build a business, right? And it's really about just getting curious, finding out getting resourceful, right? I was like, okay, I've got no internet for my computer. What can I do next? I'm like, my phone's not working. Okay, what can I do next? It's not so much a rough day. It's just like, it's funny to me how much of my day goes backwards and forwards between what works and what doesn't work. I love technology, but technology doesn't always love me sometimes. So, you know, part of what we're doing, like by my backstory behind this, is we're talking about how does education help you build your business, right? One of the things when I went looking for information online and how to build my business was, like you guys were saying, getting resourceful, right? I wanted to know how the internet worked. I was just in the beginning parts of like Facebook actually being something. Twitter had just kind of started coming out. Platforms like Pinterest didn't even exist yet. Google Hangouts was the big thing to do back in the day. So much has changed over the last 10 years in just how marketing online is, right? So it's always changing, it's always evolving. And really what I discovered over the last decade is how important education is. It's critical really to the success of business. And so I wanted to learn how to use it more effectively, right? Like I could be a consumer of social media. I could get on social media. I could kind of figure it out. I could click some buttons and I was pretty good at that. But I really didn't understand the marketing concept behind social media. So what I had to look for was like, okay, who's out there that's got training? And my first training, guys, I kid you not, that I stumbled across back in the day was something called magnetic sponsoring. And magnetic sponsoring was an incredible book. It was actually sent to me. It was like something I got in the mail way back when. It was mailed out to me. And it was a book on this concept called attraction marketing. It's how to provide value education so that people got curious about you, wanted to learn what you were doing, how you were applying it to your business, and then like possibly join you in your business. And conceptually, I understood it 100%. I'm like, oh, this is great. And then I would go to my company meetings and the company conferences, and I'm like, okay, I don't understand how this works now. Like, I'm getting like this, you just got to go out and prospect people, and yet I'm learning this concept called attraction marketing, and I wasn't getting it for a long time, right? It seems like no one was connecting the dots for me. So actually it was in getting access to Fernie's training, the attraction marketing formula, and he started laying out like how it all connected. And I'm a very visual learner, so auditory doesn't always work great for me. So I was kind of like, okay, so how does this lay out? How does this work? What are the dots? Because working honestly in a virtual world, I don't know if you guys deal with this, but working in a virtual world is difficult. The inability to touch a capture page that leads to a lead magnet or an email, or it's also out there, and it's, to me, didn't make a lot of sense. But over the years, I've just been persistent. I've been asking questions. I've been learning from others. I watch what other people do. I got curious about what other people were doing in their funnel. I got curious about the emails top leaders were writing. I started subscribing to their email list. I started going through their funnels. I really wanted to see what they were doing that was so different than what I was doing. And maybe in the process learn something, because I wasn't learning it the traditional way. I wasn't learning it from my upline. They didn't understand what I was doing. So definitely there was a gap, because what I was learning was taking me longer because I was learning it. And being able to apply it was taking me longer because I had to first learn it before I could apply it, because I didn't understand exactly what I was applying. But what had happened is, in my consistent education, in my consistent testing, learning, evaluating, and discovering what was working and what wasn't working, because it wasn't easy. It definitely took a long time to figure this all out. I discovered like what was working for me. What was my strength? What was I good at? What was it that I was good at connecting people to? How was I good in getting better at my conversations? And how was I getting better at presenting offers around training and education? And how could I present to my audience what I was learning in my process? So a lot of what I say when I say it's education based, like how education can help you build your business, is that it doesn't start right away. Like, I didn't learn it today, master it tomorrow, and was like, woohoo, success, right? It was a lot of trial and error. I mean, we're talking years of trial and error. I want to say I've been in this industry for just about 10 years. Magnetic sponsoring I bought back in 2008, so just about 10 years. And it took me probably a good 4 years of testing and figuring out. And really, I didn't have a lot of money back then either. So I used my tax returns to buy what I saw leaders have access to. So things like Camtasia, which is a video recording, it was like $300. That was way out of my budget. So I would wait for my tax return, and then I would say, okay, my tax return this year is going to go and buy that piece of software. Right? And then I got to learn how to use that software. And then I started testing it, and I started implementing it. I started doing more videos, and I started learning how video works. So I always was kind of like, what can I buy? What's my next year's expense, or what do I want to build into? And then I discovered things like tax write-offs around business. So it was always kind of like a building block. I didn't really expect to know it right now. I didn't expect to master it in a day. I spent years in a kitchen learning the skill called culinary. I spent years going through school and learning how to read and write. So I realized I had to get patient with myself and do what I could do as I could do it, right? So it wasn't about mastering everything now, getting results now. It's like, okay, I'm coming from ground zero in this education process. I don't know jack. And if I don't know anything, the only thing I can do is allow myself the ability to learn it, right? So I knew that if I stayed consistent in my learning, I knew that if I could stay consistent in applying what I was learning, right? Because learning is great, but really action is better. So I was willing to make a lot of mistakes. I was really looking forward to screwing a lot of stuff up. And in that, my business started to grow. because I was able then to relate to other people that I was screwing up. That was like, hey, I screwed that up too. Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I got it. It's like, okay, like it made sense. And it started connecting me to people saying, yeah, like, this isn't going to be mastered in, 6 weeks. Like, I know I made an investment. I know I've spent thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in my education to do this. And did it pay me back right away? No, it didn't. Did it pay me back in 5 years? Yeah. Yeah, I was good with that. Making that investment back in 5 years, I figured that was pretty good. And then growing from there, sure. Like, that made sense because, for many of you guys, I don't know if you guys do an investing, but you put money in now, looking to have it grow and invest in the future. So I figured it was worth the investment in me. I was worth investing in, right? I was worth the expense of investing in myself and my education so that I could grow and learn, so that my value would go up, my income would go up. And that's really what I learned over the last decade of this industry. It hasn't been an easy journey, but it's been a journey. And every step of the way, my income increases. Every step of the way, my education and my value increases. And I'm always looking for, how do I continue my education and growth? What might I do next? What education could I be looking at next? So when I say education is valuable in growing a business, it is. Because if you're not willing to invest in your education, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, if you don't see yourself as something worth investing into, how do we get other people to invest in themselves? Because we have to show them that that I'm worthy. First off, I'm worthy of my investment in myself. And when people say that I'm worth investing in, they go, you know what, I am too. And I'm going to make that investment. So that is the power of education. That's the power of Elite Marketing Pro. And that's really what I've learned through this training over the last 10 years, is that every time a new piece of training gets added, every time I get access to another piece of the puzzle, my value grows, my experience as a business owner grows. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today inside the Daily Dose of Awesome, is that this is a process. This is a journey. You are absolutely on it on your own. Your background, your life experiences really create who you are. And the best thing you can do is invest in your education to continue to learn your skills, and then apply those skills inside of your business and see what happens. Sometimes it's going to work. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes platforms get shut down. I've had that experience more than I care to admit. I've been on a platform and they're like, yeah, we're closing this platform. You got to find somewhere else to go. And it's like, oh, all right, so what's another resource I can go find? And then I get curious about another resource and I try to find out what's next. So have patience with yourself. Have patience that this is the journey that you're on. And thank you guys so much for your patience today, right? So you have given up and we're an hour late into this Daily Dose of Awesome today, but you made the commitment to show up. And you're investing in yourself by listening to these stories and getting some feedback and getting this information. And I really want to thank and acknowledge you. And I just wanted to share that this has kind of been my journey, and it hasn't been perfect. So patience really does pay off. Investing in your education continuously pays off. And I hope you guys are enjoying the week. I know we got holidays coming up for some of you guys. So part of the process through the roadmap, through the training, through the checklist, through what you guys have available inside of the training, inside of Elite Marketing Pro, it's all part of the process. The question is where do I start, is one that's unique to everybody, because you could start anywhere. There's no beginning place to start, right? It's going to be unique to you. Just get started. Find something to do, take action, and then trust yourself that you're going to learn it as you go, and that you know that there's a resource called a community where you can ask questions. All right. So with that, guys, thank you so much for joining me today and all my hiccups and ups and downs. You guys are amazing and awesome. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We'll see you guys inside the community. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.